Feel this in your body before I say another word. Do not think about it. Just feel. There is a heat that has been building behind your navel. A low, consistent burn that is not indigestion and not anxiety. Not in the way you have known it before. It is a pilot light that has been switched on deep inside the engine of you. At night, it makes your legs restless, a feeling that you need to run somewhere you cannot name. In the day, it makes your jaw tight, as if you are holding back a word, a scream, a truth that has been sealed behind your teeth for a lifetime. You have been dismissing it, calling it stress, calling it fatigue, calling it the weight of the world. Let me give it its proper name. It is the sound of a great river beginning to turn back on itself. This is not a metaphor. Within the ancient celestial architectures, the great currents of cosmic influence that shape our inner tides are now, in this month of April, performing a maneuver that has not been witnessed with this intensity in over a century. The star weavers of the Chaldean temples called it the Akasha Al, the reversal of the river of souls. It is a time when the great karmic current that has carried you, your family, your ancestral line, forward in one direction for generations, slows, stills, and begins the impossible process of flowing backward. It is not flowing back into the past, it is flowing back toward its source, toward you. Everything you have released, everything you have pushed away, every version of yourself you thought you had outgrown is being carried back to you on this impossible tide. Not for punishment, not for haunting, for integration. The parts of you that you shed to survive are now being returned, because the time of mere survival is over. The time for wholeness has begun. This is why your body feels so strange. It is a ship that has known only one current its entire life, and now it is being asked to sail against the very flow of its own history. The heat in your gut is the friction of this turning. The restlessness in your limbs is your soul remembering how to swim in a different direction. The tightness in your jaw is the pressure of an old identity, an old story, fighting against the dissolve. It says, "This is not safe. We have always gone this way." And a deeper part of you, the part that brought you here to these words, is whispering back. Going that way was never safe. It was just familiar. Stay with me. I need you to understand the mechanics of this, because what is coming in the next few weeks is not a storm to be weathered. It is a gate to be walked through. And gates, by their nature, do not stay open forever. The energy of this April is not a joke. It is not a gentle invitation. It is a summons, a sacred, unavoidable summons to the end of the life you have known. The life you have so carefully built, so diligently maintained. The one that is respectable and understandable, and slowly, quietly, suffocating the truth of you. The ancient sky watchers knew that time was not a straight line. They knew it was a spiral, and that at certain points, the loops of the spiral would draw so close that one could almost reach across the void and touch a past life, a future self. We are in one of those points now, a temporal convergence. But this one is different. It is not just two loops drawing near. It is as if the entire spiral is being submerged in a powerful celestial solvent. The lines are blurring. The definitions that held your reality together are becoming permeable. Think of the roles you play. The good daughter, the reliable friend, the strong one, the capable employee, the stable partner. These are structures, containers. They have been useful. They have kept you safe. They have made you legible to the world. But look closer. Can you feel how the edges are starting to fray? How the container has become a cage? The water of your own soul is rising, and the vessel can no longer hold you. The pressure is building. This is the source of that deep, unnamed exhaustion you feel, the kind that no amount of sleep can touch. You are not tired from your life. You are tired from holding the container together. The reversal of the river is a process of dissolution. It is dissolving the seals on old contracts. Contracts you made with others, yes, but more importantly, the contracts you made with yourself. The one that said, I will be this so that I can be loved. The one that said, I will not want that because it is impossible. The one that said, I will carry this for them because they cannot. The one that said, I will stay silent here to keep the peace. These contracts are written in invisible ink on your bones, in the marrow of your being, and this celestial tide is washing over them, making the ink run, rendering the old laws illegible. You are becoming a sovereign territory again, and it is terrifying, because for a time, there will be no laws. There will be only instinct, only the raw, honest pulse of your own heart. For many of you, this will manifest in your relationships, a sudden, undeniable clarity about a connection that has run its course. It is not that you have fallen out of love. It is that you have fallen back in love with the part of yourself that this relationship required you to abandon, and you can no longer bear the separation from yourself. The conversation you have been avoiding for months, for years, is gathering weight at the back of your throat. It is becoming a physical presence. Let it. That is the river, demanding a new course. For others, this will land in your work. The career that was once a source of pride and identity now feels like a foreign country. The language is the same, but you no longer understand the meaning. The tasks you perform with expert skill feel hollow, pointless. A voice that has been a whisper is becoming a roar. This is not it. This is not the work of my soul. You have been calling it burnout. It is not burnout. It is a sacred refusal. Your soul is refusing to participate in its own diminishment any longer. And for some, the most difficult path, this reversal will happen entirely inside of you. It is a confrontation with a lie you have told yourself for so long, you have forgotten it is a lie. A story about who you are, what you are capable of, what you deserve. A story you inherited, perhaps. A story that kept your ancestors safe in a world that is no longer yours. This story is so deeply embedded it feels like your own skin, and the river is asking you to shed it, to stand naked in the current of your own truth, without the armor of the old narrative. The feeling is one of profound disorientation, of not knowing who you are if you are not that story. Good. Let the not knowing be your guide. Your mind will scramble for certainty, for a new label, a new plan. Do not give it one. Not yet. The mind builds with old bricks. The soul grows from new earth. Your only task right now is to allow the dissolve, to feel the old banks of the river crumble without panicking and trying to rebuild them. The water has to find its new path, and it will do so by instinct, not by engineering. There is a story from the old Vedic texts, a story that is not often told. It speaks of the goddess Ganga, the personification of the sacred river Ganges. For eons she flowed from the heavens, through the hair of Shiva, and across the plains of the earth in a single benevolent direction, washing away impurities, carrying souls to liberation. Her course was set, her purpose known. But there came a time, the texts say, when the weight of the world's sorrow, the sheer density of the karma she was cleansing, became too great. The river began to slow. The water grew murky. The current weakened. Ganga was drowning in the very pain she was meant to heal. And so, in a moment of divine crisis, she did the unthinkable. She stopped. For one celestial moment, the great river stood still. The universe held its breath. Then, with an effort that shook the foundations of the cosmos, she began to pull her waters backward. Not to return to the heavens, but to churn inward, to dredge the silt from her own riverbed. It was a violent, chaotic process. Sacred sites along her banks were flooded. Old temples were swallowed. The landscape that had been defined by her for millennia was undone in a season. The gods themselves cried out, believing it was the end of an age. They were right. It was. But it was not the end of the river. It was a reclamation. By turning inward, by dredging her own depths, Ganga rediscovered a power she had forgotten she possessed. A raw, elemental force that was not just about cleansing, but about creation. When her current finally moved forward again, it was in a new channel, a deeper one, carved with the wisdom of her own darkness. She was no longer just a river of grace. She was a river of power. You are in that moment of stillness right now, the moment before the turn. You are feeling the weight of the life you have been cleansing, the sorrows you have been carrying for others, the karmic silt of your lineage. And your soul has made a choice. It will no longer flow in this direction. It will no longer drown in a purpose that diminishes it. It is preparing to turn back on itself, to dredge its own depths, to reclaim the power you have forgotten you possess. And yes, some things on the banks of your life will be flooded. Old temples of belief will be swallowed. The landscape of your identity will be undone. People who have only known you as a predictable, gentle current will be frightened. They will call it destruction. It is not destruction. It is the draw. The mighty inward draw of your own soul calling itself home. Let's bring this back into your body. Place a hand on your lower belly, just below the navel. Breathe into that space. This is the Svadhisthana, the second chakra, the dwelling place of the self. Its element is water. Its nature is flow, creativity, emotion, pleasure. For most of us, this center is clogged. It is silted up with the shame of our desires, the guilt of our needs, the fear of our own creative power. We have been taught to control this river, to dam it, to divert it for more productive purposes. The heat you are feeling there is the friction of this ancient ice beginning to break up. The celestial reversal is creating a resonance in your own inner river. It is agitating the waters. Things are being stirred up from the bottom. Memories you thought were long gone. Desires you buried in your youth. A raw, creative life force that frightens the part of you that craves safety and control. Notice the sensations. Is there a churning, a fluttering, a deep, dull ache? Do not judge it. Do not try to fix it. Just witness it. This is the dredging process. This is your Ganga churning her own riverbed. Your only job is to breathe and allow it, to give it permission. You can even say it aloud, a whisper to your own waters. You have permission to move. You have permission to turn. Feel the power in that. For perhaps the first time, you are not fighting the current. You are not trying to direct it. You are simply giving it permission to find its own way. This is an act of profound courage, an act of radical trust in the wisdom of your own body, your own soul. This process will unfold in 3 distinct stages over the coming weeks, aligned with the lunar cycle. I need you to be aware of them, to work with them, not against them. The first stage is what you are in now. It is the great stillness. This is the period where the outward flow of your life force slows to a near halt. It feels like stagnation. It feels like confusion, apathy, a loss of direction. You may find your motivation for your goals has vanished. Projects you were passionate about now feel meaningless. This is the most difficult stage because the mind interprets it as failure. It will scream at you to do something, to push harder, to force the river to flow. Do not listen. This stillness is sacred. It is the moment Ganga paused. It is the necessary pause before the turn. Your work in this stage is to allow it, to cancel what can be canceled, to rest even when you don't feel tired, to sit in the not knowing without reaching for an answer. You are gathering energy. The river is pooling, deepening, building immense potential force for the turn that is to come. Resisting the stillness is like trying to push a river uphill. It is a waste of the very energy you are meant to be conserving. The second stage will begin with the next dark moon. It is the churn. This is when the river begins its backward turn. This stage is emotional. It is messy. As the current turns inward, it will dredge up everything you have suppressed. Unresolved grief, old anger, deep-seated fears. You may find yourself weeping for no apparent reason, or feeling rage at small provocations. Relationships may become volatile as your shifting energy field disrupts the old dynamics. This is not you falling apart. This is you falling open. The emotions are the silt. They are the old sorrows that have been weighing down your riverbed. They are coming up to be seen, to be felt, to be released into the current. Your work here is not to understand the emotions. It is not to analyze them or assign them a story. Your work is to feel them, to let the wave of grief or anger move through your body without judgment. Cry. Yell into a pillow. Move your body in strange, non-linear ways. Shake. Tremble. Give the emotion a physical pathway out of your system. If you try to suppress it or intellectualize it, it will simply resettle on the riverbed, denser than before. This is a time of immense physical and emotional clearing. You must be tender with yourself. Hydrate more than usual. Eat simple, grounding foods. Spend time with your feet on the earth. The body is your anchor in the churn. The third stage will arrive with the full moon at the end of April. It is the new channel. After the dredging, after the churn, the water begins to find its new, true course. This stage is marked by moments of startling clarity, a sudden insight, an unexpected solution to an old problem, a conversation that flows with effortless honesty, a deep, quiet knowing of what must be done next. This is not the time for a grand plan. It is a time for the next right step. The new channel is not carved all at once. It is carved one movement at a time. The clarity will not be a blueprint for the next 10 years. It will be a clear, undeniable signal for the next 10 minutes. A sudden urge to call a friend. An impulse to write down a business idea on a napkin. A decision made from a place of deep peace to finally say no. Or to finally say yes. Your work in this stage is to trust these impulses, to act on the small, clear signals without needing to know where they will lead. Your mind will demand a guarantee. It will want to see the entire river. You cannot give it one. You must learn to navigate by the light of your own soul, moment by moment. Each time you trust an impulse, you carve the new channel a little deeper. Each time you act from this place of inner knowing, you strengthen the new current. This three-stage process is a sacred journey of unbecoming. You are not building something new on top of the old foundation. You are allowing the old foundation to be washed away so that you can remember the earth you were always standing on. Now, I am going to walk you through a practice, a small ritual to honor this process and align your physical body with this cosmic tide. Do not treat this as a task to be checked off a list. Treat it as a ceremony, a conversation between you and the river of your soul. You will need a clear glass of water, a pen, and a small piece of paper. You will perform this for 3 consecutive nights, starting tonight. On the first night, the night of stillness, take the glass of water and hold it in your hands. Feel its weight, its temperature. Gaze into the water and see your reflection. See the face you show the world. See the story you have been living. Now, just sit with it. For at least 5 minutes, do nothing but hold this glass of water. If your mind races, bring it back to the feeling of the glass in your hands. If emotions rise, let them. Do not stir the water. Do not drink it. Just be still with it. You are mirroring the great stillness. You are showing your own system that it is safe to pause. After 5 minutes, set the glass by your bedside. Do not drink it. On the second night, the night of the churn, take up the same glass of water. It may have dust on its surface now. It is no longer perfectly clear. This is as it should be. Take the small piece of paper. On it, I want you to write the name of the container that feels most like a cage right now. It might be a role, the peacemaker. It might be a relationship, his partner. It might be a belief, I am not creative. It might be a fear, the fear of being alone. Write down the one thing whose edges are dissolving. Be honest. No one else needs to see this. Fold the paper as small as you can. Drop it into the glass of water. Now, take the pen, or a spoon, or your finger, and stir the water. Stir it vigorously. Watch the paper soften. Watch the ink begin to bleed into the water, clouding it. As you stir, speak aloud to the water. Tell it about the grief of this container. Tell it about the rage. Tell it about the exhaustion. Pour the unsaid words into the water. Churn it. Let it become murky, chaotic, illegible. When you feel you are done, leave the glass by your bedside again. You are honoring the sacred mess of the churn. You are giving your emotions a vessel. On the third night, the night of the new channel, take up the glass for the final time. The paper will be a pulpy mass at the bottom. The water will be cloudy. This is the silt of your old story. Carry this glass outside. If you cannot go outside, go to a sink or a toilet. You are going to return this water to the earth, to the great cycle. As you pour it out, I want you to say these words aloud, and I want you to mean them. I release the story that has ended. I release the banks that have broken. I release the name that is no longer mine. My river finds its own way to the sea. My river finds its own way home. Pour every last drop. Then turn the empty glass upside down and leave it to dry. You have created an empty space, a vacuum. You have honored the ending. You are now ready to listen for the whispers of the new beginning. This is not a magic trick. This is a technology of the soul. It is a way of using the physical world to communicate a deep intention to the non-physical world, to your own subconscious, to the universe itself. You are signaling your willing participation in this great reversal. I know this is overwhelming. I know a part of you is terrified. The ego, the part of you that built the old life, sees this process as death. And in a way, it is right. It is the death of a limited identity. It is the death of a story that, while safe,
was keeping you from the ocean of your own potential.
You must be willing to endure the discomfort of this death. You must be willing to walk through a period of being unrecognizable to yourself. You must be willing to disappoint people who benefited from you staying small, staying in your old channel. Their fear is not your responsibility. Their comfort is not worth the price of your soul. Look closely at the people in your life right now. Some of them are standing on the old riverbank, shouting at you to stop, terrified that your flood will sweep them away. They are trying to shore up the old reality. But there are others. Look for them. They are the ones who are not afraid of your chaos. They are the ones who brought you a boat, or who are simply standing, waiting, on the shore of the new channel, trusting that you will find your way. These are your people for the next chapter. Cling to them. Let the others go. With love, with gratitude for the role they played, but let them go. The river cannot carry everyone. You did not find this message by accident. Something in you, the part of you that is already allied with this cosmic shift, recognized the frequency of this truth before I even spoke the first word. Your presence here is a confirmation. It is proof that you are ready. You may not feel ready. You may feel terrified and unprepared. That does not matter. The soul's readiness precedes the mind's understanding. This April is a threshold. It is a profound opportunity to shed a lifetime of conditioning in a matter of weeks, to allow a quantum leap in your own evolution. But it requires your consent. It requires your courage. The universe can open the gate, but it cannot force you to walk through it. You must choose. You must choose the uncertainty of the new channel over the familiarity of the dying river. You must choose the raw honesty of your own soul over the approval of others. You must choose the terrifying freedom of not knowing over the comfortable prison of a plan that no longer fits. The old life is ending. Let it. Grieve it. Honor it for the lessons it taught you, for the ways it kept you safe when you needed safety. Thank it. And then, turn your face to the new current and let it carry you. The heat in your belly is not a warning. It is a promise. It is the fire of your own true self reigniting. It is the engine of your becoming, turning over, ready for a journey you cannot yet imagine. The next few weeks will ask more of you than you know. They will demand a level of honesty and courage you may not feel you possess. But the river does not doubt its own power to carve a canyon. It simply moves. You are that river. You have that power. Stop trying to control it. Let it move. Let it carve. Let it roar. The time for the gentle, meandering stream is over. The time for the wild, holy, unstoppable river has come. You have felt it coming. You have known, in the quiet moments between breaths, that a change was upon you. You are not behind. You are not late. You have arrived at this moment, at these words, precisely on time. The summons has been issued, and deep within you, your soul has already answered, yes. Now all that is left is for the rest of you to catch up. I have spent many hours in stillness, listening to the currents of what is unfolding, so that the course for you could be made clear, so that you would know you are not alone in this, and that this process has a sacred architecture. If this message has found its home in you, I invite you to declare your readiness, not for me, but for yourself, and as a signal to the universe. In the comments below, write the words, "I am ready for the river to turn." Let it be an anchor. Let it be your first step into the new channel. Someone beneath your words, someone who is feeling lost in the churn, will find courage in your declaration. Your act of bravery will become a lighthouse for another. Thank you for receiving this. Thank you for your courage. I will see you in the new current.